Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Godfather Part II Minute with me, Alex Robinson.
And with me, Andy Robinson.
And together we're going to talk about minute number 72 of the Godfather Part II.
Alex, repeat after me.
Okay.
E minuto. Numero 72.
72.
You got it.
I like 70.
By the way, yesterday I almost pulled the trigger and booked a trip to Italy next year.
What held you back?
It's
pull the trigger. Poor choice of words.
Yeah. I exterminated a transaction before I completed it. I just held back. It's several months away, but the prices look good, and I'm tired of not going.
I feel like you should snap it up because with the way this economy is.
I couldn't believe how cheap it was.
How cheap it was.
Yeah, they're paying me to go.
Wow.
Yeah. they just said there's a few things I have to do when I'm there, some business I have to help them with. Yeah.
That day may never come, but well, good luck. I hope you pull the trigger, so to speak.
Yeah. Full choice of words. Tell us about the minute, Alex.
Well, minute number 72, Frankie Five Angels meets up with Carmine Rosato, who hands Frankie a $100 bill, which he takes as an insult.
Cha-ching!
Once inside the bar, Tony Rosato appears and strangles the croaking capo with a garrote.
I never knew that was the other Rosato brother.
Yeah, that's
Danny Aiello.
That's Danny Aiello.
I didn't know he was the other Rosato brother.
He's the other Rosato brother.
Wow.
And you know what else I realized? I feel like we might have known this, but I totally forgot that Carmine Rosato is played by Carmine Caridi, the guy who was kicked out of the Academy of Motion Arts and Pictures.
Whoa.
So he was almost cast as Sonny in part 1.
Really?
She's very, very not what I would have imagined. But
yeah, wow.
He seems so much older than.
Yeah, he does seem older
than those guys, but
yeah, so you're saying Carmine Carbidi got stepped over?
Maybe he dyed his hair. Maybe he looked younger in the other movie.
I wonder if how they all felt, the different people who almost got those parts. Like Robert Redford was supposed to get the part of Michael,
right.
Carmine Carbidi ends up having to sell bootleg DVDs to make a living.
Well, he also is someone who is in all 3 of the Godfather movies.
That's right.
Yeah. He was a bystander in the Sonny scene, which is ironic considering that he almost played Sonny. He plays Carmine Rosato, and he plays one of the mobsters in the scene where the helicopter scene of GF3.
Oh, one of the bigwigs.
Yeah, one of the other dons. So,
GF3 spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for GF3. Anyway, so also, do you want to say, what do you got?
Well, last week, if you remember, we talked about how Johnny Ola called Fredo in the middle of the night. Very late phone call, Alex. Very rude.
Well, we don't know if it was late, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, he could have just, that's right. It could have been 2 p.m.
Fredo, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. Get a hold of yourself.
Jesus Christ, what time is it? You got some knife, Johnny. No wonder they call you Superman. You're waking up before noon.
So what did we discuss last
week? In the
week?
phone call, Johnny asks Fredo, he says, Pantangeli's going to go along with the deal, but we want to know if he's on the level or if he's going to bring his boys.
Yes.
So it then cuts to this scene, and so is Pantangeli on the level?
I don't know. I don't know what the threshold is for bringing your boys. He brought a boy.
Yeah.
Does that count as?
And it's Cheech.
Yeah.
Who is equivalent to a small army.
He's a one-man army.
He killed Cuneo.
It's true.
Well, I wonder. No, I might answer my own question. I think about it. He brought Cheech, but Rosato immediately says, "Hey, Frankie, I don't got anyone here."
Yeah, I ain't got nobody.
And then Pantangeli doesn't even think twice. He immediately says, "Cheech, go wait in the car." He says, "Frankie, it's all right." So I guess Frankie is going in there trusting the Rosato brothers. So he's not bringing his boys.
Well, so yeah, I had a question about that.
Yeah.
I was trying to, every other time there's been a meeting between two gangsters, usually there's like security provided, guys have to play pinochle, and there's all sorts of like, it's like a thing. This almost feels like it's
like someone's setting him up.
No, but I'm saying it's the last time that something like this happened was, I think the Turk was probably the last time that I can remember them, or no. Hold on, I wrote it down here somewhere. The first time since the Turk that we've seen gangsters meeting without a lot of security, and look how well that turned out. So
when was the last time?
Can you think of any time besides the meeting of the Turk where it was just kind of a casual
a meeting of gangsters? Not really, without security. No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically Luca wasn't going he was going there as a potential mole. So.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if Frankie normally would be more, or is he like, there's no reason for the Rosato brothers to kill me, that I'm doing what they want. You know what I mean?
And why would Michael Corleone want me dead? There's no reason anyone would want to garrote me in this bar. No, what I'm thinking is Pantangeli normally would bring security.
Yeah.
And he brought Cheech, but when Rosato said, hey, I don't have anyone here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Michael's speech to Frankie Five Angels about, I want them relaxed. I don't want them to think I'm against them. And so this is against Frankie's better judgment, but he's going along with what Michael said. The boss says. Like, hey, I'm supposed to make peace today, and so I'm not going to bring a bunch of bodyguards.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, he's sort of, and also presumably the Rosato brothers know that he's coming there to surrender, basically.
Yeah.
Because he says, I want to host Casino for our new deal. So
I'm so glad you made the deal, Frankie. Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did learn, I wanted to get to the bottom of exactly what the relationship between the Rosato brothers and
Hyman Roth.
And Roth and the Corleone family.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of... this is what I was able to deduce from the Godfather wiki.
Okay.
The Rosatos were kind of like, they came under Clemenza's like regime. But they were almost kind of like they were almost just like they were working for like Clemenza, but not like the overall Corleone organization, sort of.
Oh, okay.
And so...
Or they were subcontractors.
Sort of.
Clemenza.
And they said, obviously, that Clemenza promised them 3 territories in the Bronx. And...
but that's not true, because Clemenza promised them Ungats.
Depends on who you believe. That's where we run into a he said kind of a thing.
And conveniently, Clemenza isn't here.
So once...
They should really go back and consult Clemenza's wife. She would know.
She wrote everything he said anyway. She was a power behind the throne.
No. Clemenza and I promised them Ungats. She says the same thing.
So once Frankie welched on the deal, that was when, according to this, they used the phrase, they formed a rogue faction. Which to me makes it seem like they kind of like defected from the Corleones and became kind of like free agents and then started working with Roth.
Oh, okay.
Like sort of
much similar to how they were working for Clemenza, but now working for Roth.
Sort of, yeah.
As free agents, hired guns.
Well, sort of, yeah. Or I guess the criminal underworld might be a lot more fluid than we are. Like, it might not be the kind of thing where, you're locked into a contract with us, you have to do what we say. It might be much more like individual negotiations going on and things like that.
Makes sense.
So,
yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that's basically why the Rosatos like the hierarchy of fun.
Although it does seem odd though, if they weren't really a part of Roth's family, then why would it be so important to Michael that Frankie make the peace with them?
Because clearly everyone knows the Rosatos are now aligned with Roth.
Okay, even if they're not
formally like
part of it.
or whatever.
That makes sense. Yeah.
the same way I guess that everyone knew they were working with the Corleones before or whatever. So
Yeah.
So,
So hard to, it's so hard to keep track of it all. So can we talk about the C note?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. So Cheech leaves, then they shake hands, and Carmine Rosato uses the subtle trick of slipping Frankie $100 bill.
Yeah. And they're still outside, and Frankie says, "What's this, Rosato?"
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, this is a
lucky C note for our new venture."
Yeah, that's right. And then Frankie, you still don't know how he's taking it. I mean, he's getting cash, so everything seems okay. But
it's funny because if you had asked me when does he say that line, I would have. When does he say that's take it as an insult? I would have thought it happened here, like in my head. It's happening when they're outside.
No, it still goes in. He's still kind of thinking it over.
Yeah, just goes to show you, my memory is not what it.
Oh yeah. We got more splaining to do today.
Oh no.
So Alex, when was the last time someone passed you cash like that?
Like a
discreetly,
as like a tip or something, or like
for any reason.
I mean, as opposed to like my wife saying, "Oh, I went to the bank today. Here's some money I took out," like that. I mean,
that's right. No, discreetly.
Oh, okay.
Where you didn't see it coming, but it's in a handshake.
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. Probably when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, like some relative.
Even as a joke, no one has done it.
I can't think of it.
Maybe
no one wants to jokingly hand you $100 bill. They know they're not getting. They know they're
well, if they owed you money and they're giving it back, paying you back, but in that way.
No, usually when people do that, they throw it on the floor and make me pick it up. That's usually.
You've done that for me, a la Sonny Corleone to the photographer whose camera he broke.
I broke your camera. I felt bad, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, you broke it. That's okay, but then you had Paulie kick it.
Oh, you won't be seeing him no more. Don't worry. I can't think of a time of C note.
No. Interestingly, just yesterday, I was packaging up my passport renewal envelope.
Plan on leaving the country?
I don't. Yeah, so
you get your absentee ballot.
And I picked up. We have a bunch of envelopes in this cupboard, held together with a big clip. So I just peeled the first envelope off and started packing my stuff in there. There was $120 in cash in that envelope.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your wife might be running some kind of operation.
It was very strange, and it was right with all of the other unused.
Did you look? Did all the envelopes have money?
I haven't
in
looked at them yet. I just assumed we had left it maybe for a pet sitter or something, but
it wasn't taken. Cash, small bills.
It was small bills. And let me tell you, I did not take it as an insult, and I did not tell her.
Oh,
hey, finders keepers.
You should never ask you about your business.
I do our laundry. Whenever I find money, it's mine.
Oh, nice.
I find Bitcoin in the laundry, it's mine. Anything more about the C note?
Well,
before they go inside,
I was curious if I wanted to know the history of the $100 bill.
Okay.
And and it was kind of interesting. Some really bizarre statistics I got.
Oh, cool.
Well, first of
all, I
all,
don't know anything about the $100 except that Ben Franklin is on it.
Was introduced along with the rest of the paper money in 1862.
They started with hundreds?
Well, they started with all the denominations.
They did all the denominations in 1862. Wow, yeah. That seems like a lot of money. I mean, a $100 bill in 1862, that had to be like a $10,000 now, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sounds like a really high-end bill. Anyway, go on.
Well, it's funny you mention that because in 1969, that was when the mint said, you know what? We're getting rid of our highest value bills.
Ooh.
And they left. The $100 bill is currently the highest circulating currency.
Wow.
They got rid of the $500 bill.
Oh, that would be cool.
The $1,000 bill.
Oh, yes.
The $5,000 bill. And the grand champion of them all, the $10,000 bill was retired for circulation. And like you said, $10,000 back in 1920 was like...
Yeah.
That was probably like carrying like $100,000 bill around.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. You're just asking for it.
Yeah. So...
wow. Very cool.
So currently the $100 bill is the highest value. They have a lifespan of 22.9 years before they get too worn out.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
A little bit of trivia.
Wait, those other bills, though, they're still out there in legal tender, right? They're probably collector's items and things, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing that I think they generally only circulated between banks.
Oh,
so I'm sure once the government was like, all right, give us back those bills, the banks just, comply.
Oh, you don't think any private collectors have them?
Someone's
wonder. Probably got them.
You know what? We'll ask, we'll answer.
Yeah,
where are the surviving $10,000 bills? Do you think they're worth more than, I think they are. Assuming they're worth more than $10,000.
You know what? I'm going to go as far as say they're probably worth like $100,000,
$13,000.
Yeah. What other trivia you got about the 100? Oh, do you know who were on all those different bills? Did it say?
I do not know that. That's a to be for another time.
What else you got?
Well, so while you asked that question, you know the two non-presidents who are on bills?
Benjamin Franklin on the 100 and Alexander Hamilton on the 10?
The 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah, 20 is Jackson.
20 is Jackson, yeah.
As of this recording.
Yeah, that's right.
As of 2012, what percentage? Picture all the currency, all the U.S. currency floating around out there.
I love it.
What percentage of it do you think are $100 bills?
Whoa, just bills?
Just in terms of sheer volume.
Just numbers.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there's a 1.
Now, say this is out of all currency.
All U.S. currency.
Well, out of all U.S. currency.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that includes... I guess coins are probably even less than ever now because people use...
Yeah.
They probably make less coins now than they ever have. So.
Well, I'm going to assume there's the 1, the 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. Well, there are about 7 of those I just named. There aren't many 2s. So I'm going to say about 1... I'm going to say 1/6, which is about... What is that, like 16... I'm going to say 16%.
You are too low.
Too low. Whoa. So it's overrepresented. 20%?
Go higher.
Higher. 50%.
77% of all currency is $100 bills.
Oh my goodness.
And it kind of makes sense in a way if you think about like all those high bills were retired. So if you want to give someone $10,000 cash, you got to cash. You got to give them $100 bills. That's the most there is. So for big transactions, but here was something
can you imagine fitting $10,000 worth of $100 bills into that small little purse, the little wedding purse?
Well, it's only like 100. So it's only 100 bills, right?
100
times 100 is
10,000.
10,000.
100 bills. All right.
It's just like one packet.
All right, take it back. They can't fit in that wedding purse.
But here is this. If you thought that figure was jarring, this is the one that I thought was even crazier. 80% of all U.S. $100 bills, 80% of them are in foreign countries.
Whoa,
that's the crazy. So picture that, like 80%, only 20% of the hundreds are even in the United States,
and they make up most of the money, the U.S. money.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
So, they think a lot of that is most likely in criminal organizations. There you go. So So maybe Frankie's right not to like the scene. You could have got me a $500 bill. Or
I take that as an insult. Do you know the history of the $100 bill, Rosato?
So it is an insulting thing. Also, we should mention that because it's basically you're treating like it's almost like you're treating him like he's an employee by giving him 100. Like I don't know. It seems it's a power move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do you think
I don't know. Maybe
Rosato does it to everyone?
I don't think he does it to everyone. Well, maybe.
It seems.
Is it a power move or is it a nice olive branch? Hey, here's some cash. I mean, I guess it's not that much, and Frankie Five Angels is giving up a lot in this deal. Apparently, he's giving up territory. So $100 kind of. I guess it is a smack in the face.
Well, yeah, and plus it's.
I take this as an insult.
Like everyone knows.
I take this as an insult. You know, I'm not a Ben Franklin fan. You know, Frankie does like history.
Franklin Five Angels.
Benjamin Franklin Five Angels. I think we have the name of this episode.
Yeah. Franklin Five Angels. Yeah, but it also because everyone involved in this knows that Frankie was fighting and now is suddenly laying down.
Yeah.
So for him to give him the $100 bill, it's like you're literally you're. It seems like a kind of I'm being gracious in victory kind of. I don't know. It's
yeah. I guess so.
It's it's either an insult or it's a total misread on Rosato's part. If he genuinely means it as a kind of we're friends. Mm-hmm. Which you think if they're planning on killing him now, they would want it to be more so that he'd go in with he'd be more relaxed.
So I have a comment about that. So are we in the bar yet?
I don't know.
So
tell me.
So they go into the bar, and then Rosato says, "Hey, Richie, what does he say?"
Richie,
he says,
just
give us a drink, give us a taste.
Give us a
he
taste.
Says, yeah.
He doesn't have to pay for the drink. He's like, just give us a taste.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have any more money. He just gave it.
He wants Frankie to buy the drinks.
And so I realized that Rosato gives Frankie cash and then is getting him a drink. Mm-hmm. Alex, was there another time when an opposing family tried to get someone to relax with a financial offer and liquor right before they tried to kill him?
Not bad. Huh? I see where you're going with this. Yeah. You're talking about the death of Luca Brasi.
That's right, Alex. Yeah. There's a theme going here. So, if someone ever gives you cash and a drink, you better watch your back. Go run for cover.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
In a dark bar.
Because there's another element to it that also reminded me of that scene with Luca and Barzini. Because
they garrote him.
Well, but also before they kill him, Barzini does the intimate gesture of patting him on the hand and being like, "Oh, it's all right." And this time, Rosato rubs his hand on Frankie's head. So it's both times. It's almost like someone is being very
it's right from the playbook.
Yeah,
it's right from the set.
Totally, and he gets garroted. So
it's so funny how Rosato takes his hand and rubs Frankie's bald head as Frankie's still pondering the C note.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're all proud that you made that deal.
Yeah.
You're a real war hero, Frankie. Thanks for taking the deal. Yeah, look at that. So liquor, cash.
They don't give Luca cash at the
but it's a financial offer.
Yeah, that's true.
To butter him
up.
It's
a deal. Deal.
For Luca, they offered him, was it $50,000 or something?
Not bad.
But it was just an offer. To start, yeah. But then with Frankie, they actually gave him the cash.
Oh, yeah. That's a very low number.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to give him the cash, you're not going to give him $50,000.
What if the tables had been reversed? What if instead, when Luca Brasi arrived to meet with Barzini, if he was like...
you mean Tatalia?
No, what I just realized... So that was Barzini all along.
Oh, that wasn't even. It was even Tatalia. It was Barzini.
If the situations had been reversed, if Luca Brasi had shown up at the meeting and then Tatalia had handed him $100 bill with Luca being like, "Hey, what's that about?" And similarly, if when he met up with Rosato, when Frankie meets Carmine Rosato, if Carmine Rosato was like, "Listen, I'll give you $55,000 cash to start with," right off the bat, would Frankie be more like, "Whoa, not bad."
Maybe, yeah. I guess, and is a bigger offer better than lower cash in your hand? That's hard. I'm taking the cash.
Seems like Pop should have some wisdom about that. Like an insult in the hand is worth a promise in the...
Look it up in your Godfather management book.
How many conversations with God books are there? No one knows.
Well, Alex, I have a note here. You know why?
Oh boy!
Why they call? You know why they call it a C note?
Why?
Or at least why they call it C note in this situation?
Because you see it go bye with today's prices.
Close, because Rosato's next line is, "See, I told you not to trust me." Or if you want to get even nerdier, he says, "See, note that you're a sucker." See, note that you're. See, note that. See, yeah. Puns. Puns, Alex.
Puns. People love the wordplay.
What else you got about the C note?
Well, here's an interesting thing. This event, hopefully it's interesting. I shouldn't say, here's an interesting thing that puts a lot of pressure on it.
You're right. Yeah.
This whole incident with the Rosato brothers is based on, it's not science fiction, it's based on science fact.
What?
The Gallo brothers, Crazy Joe Gallo, who was a character in The Offer.
That's right.
And his brother, Albert Kid Blast Gallo, were mobs. The Rosato brothers are based on those two gangsters.
Oh, right.
But weirdly, their brother Larry Gallo was garroted in a similar incident where someone was choking him, and then the cops came in, and he was left behind. Larry Gallo.
Interesting.
And before that incident, the person he was talking to gave Larry Gallo the $100 bill, and Larry Gallo said, "Oh, I think that is an insult."
Whoa.
So it's all really based on real dialogue.
That's cool.
I feel like GF2, because they did GF1, and like Mario Puzo kind of. That was his story, really. I mean, Francis Ford Coppola changed some things for the movie. I understand the book is different than the movie.
That's right.
But when they were writing the second one, I feel like they were taking a lot more of real gangster and just kind of okay, this is going to be Meyer Lansky. This is kind of using substitutes for real life, using
Vincent Allo.
Vincent Blue Eyes Allo. Yeah. So yeah, this is an example of that. Can't think of too many ones in GF1 where it's that was based on something that really happened to
the Johnny Fontaine, maybe.
Right? The Sinatra
was the big
story,
one. Yeah.
Well, that never happened. That was not based on Frank Sinatra.
So I'm finished. We're planning on finishing The Offer today. So next week we'll be able to talk about it. Yeah.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So let's see.
What else you got?
Well, we already talked about Carmine Rosato rubbing the back of his head. Do you think Carmine wanted to do that? That was his idea? Did they all scheme this ahead of time? It's hey, we need to get him to relax. So Carmine rubbed the back of his head, and Carmine's no, come on, I'm not going to rub back of this guy's head.
Wait, so you thought they thought that would actually make him relax?
Yeah,
Fred is famous for if you rub his head, he falls asleep like a baby or something. That's what Mikey should have done when he was all drunk and yelling. Someone should just went over and started rubbing his head. All right, well, it's time to lower that paywall. If people want to hear the rest of the episode, they should go to godfatherminute.com/support. And there you can get not only an extended episode, you get the extension of all the back episodes, including season 1, and you'll get our Godfather 3 commentary track. All that just for going to godfatherminute.com/support. That sounds like a good deal, right?
I don't know, Alex. I'm insulted. Why are you asking me for money?